My name is Kevin Gitonga. I was in CHEP, UOE, graduated 2016. I attended Commission Conference 2014.
So in Commission 2014, what were your highlights?
My major highlights. It's a really huge one. You should have asked me that one earlier. My major highlights in Commission 2014. In Commission 2014, I think my major highlights were just interacting with missionaries, possibly for the first time in my life. African missionaries. I remember one lady who was possibly in her late 30s, 37 I think, and she had never been married. And there was just something about her life that was just awesome. Something just about her life that was awesome. I think that just did something within my heart. Yeah.
And what would you say are some of the sessions that you attended, and what did you learn from?
So when I attended Commission 2014, I was very specific. I wanted things that would equip me for long-term missionary service. And so one of the sessions I attended was on missionary life. I attended another session on Muslim evangelism. I think I can't fully remember others that I attended, but I was looking for things that were missions and missionary life and how to do life as a missionary. Yeah.
Why? Is there any particular reason why you attended those specific ones?
So earlier that year, I had done Kairos course, and after doing the Kairos course, I had walked on a journey with God of clarifying my purpose in life. And by the time I was attending Commission Conference, I was battling with whether or not to fully say yes to long-term service as a missionary. And so when I was going for the Commission Conference, somehow I was very, very clear that if anything, I wanted to do and to learn from people who are into Muslim evangelism and people who've lived their lives as missionaries in the mission field.
All right. So at the end of every Commission Conference, there is usually a commitment forum. I don't know whether you made any commitments in that conference, and how was that like?
So at the end of the Commission Conference, so in the course of the Commission Conference, possibly, I got to learn about associate mentorship, where as students we were offered mentors, and I signed up for one in Eldoret then. And I think that was one of the commitments that I made. But then after that, I also committed to long-term missions. I guess it's still there in my book. It's still there in my book. And as far as I was exposed to Missions Campaign Network that was doing missions discipleship training programs. And so one of the things I committed to was joining them after college for a 7 weeks program, which turned into a 1-year program, and the rest is history.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how would you say Commission Conference has impacted your life, and how has it contributed to what you do today? You would share that with.
For me, I would say Commission Conference was the place where I clarified my calling. Interacting with missionaries was huge for me. Getting to see their lives and how they were living their lives, and just their utter, we speak of being fully reckless abandonment to the cause of Jesus Christ. That was huge for me. And then I think thinking about them and seeing their lives, I fully wanted what they had. They had Jesus, and it was, you could feel it in their talk. You could feel it as they spoke. They had Jesus. But something else happened during the Commission Conference, that the Lord stamped my calling in a very clear way. I knew during the commissioning service on the last day that God actually had his hands on me, and there was no turning back. I knew, and so that was such a huge huge event in my life, because from then I knew there will be no turning back. And since then I went ahead telling everybody. I told my parents, I told my church, I told my friends in college. I became a celibate. And everybody knew that Kevin was headed for missions, and there was no turning back.
So you're still doing missions to date as a result of that?
And as a result of that, is in how do you turn away from something that is so clear? How do you turn away from something that is so clear? As in, it was so clear that Jesus Christ had spoken to my heart. It was so clear that I saw what missionaries had and I wanted what they had. As in, you just don't turn away from that. Of course, thoughts have come along the way that I felt like turning away. But it's one of those realities that I live in. I just can't shrug it off my shoulders. And so since Commission 2014, I think I've been a man on mission. I've been a man on a mission, and there is no turning back. So since then I've been doing missions. I work with a people group in our country, in the Horn of Africa. And my passion is simply to plant churches among them. My passion is to see Jesus Christ loved. I speak of this, Jesus Christ known, loved and cherished by that people group.
The Fellowship of Christian Unions, reaching students, changing nations.